Good morning, Rabbi. Thank you for coming. Please tell yourself to breakfast and honestly sponsored. You know, the Torah gives two reasons why we don't allow the descendants of Ammon and Moab to enter the Jewish people. What's the reason number one? Is that when we left Egypt, we wanted to buy provisions. We wanted to buy bread and food, and they wouldn't sell it to us. But the second reason is they hired Bilam to curse the Jewish people, which is a terrible thing. He wanted to cause their destruction. So the question is, why did the Torah bother to say the fact they weren't hospitable to us? The fact that they wanted to harm the Jewish people, they hired somebody to curse the Jewish people, that's a good enough reason. Why does the Torah even bother to mention they didn't sell us bread and food when we left Egypt? So the Melitz Yosha, I think, is a very interesting answer. Let's analyze this. Lot was a person who was a Baal Chesed. He was very hospitable. He was ready to even give up his daughters to the mob in Lot, for hospitality for his guests. What happened to that hospitality? His offspring didn't have that same hospitality Lot had. Lot was willing to risk his daughter's life for the sake of the Malachim, and yet they wouldn't sell bread and they wouldn't sell water to the Jewish people. So he says that's the answer to the question. In other words, when you have a trait that Avram, when he did hospitable acts, he did it because he did it with his heart, because God commanded him to do it. When Lot did it, he did it by rote. He saw his uncle do it, so he did it too, but it didn't really come from the Kishka, it didn't come from the Shama. And that's the lesson Torah wants to impart to us. If you want to have traits that are sustainable, it can't just be by rote. It has to come from the heart. And that's the lesson for us, is yes, we have to understand that the Lot's descendants didn't have the hospitality trait because Lot didn't do it by heart. He didn't instill it in his kids. If you want it to really be instilled, you got to do it with our hearts. You have to, Hashem tells us to do it, and do it with our hearts. And that's the answer to success, and that's the reason why the Torah lists the seem to be trivial fact that didn't sell us bread and water, because that's an important factor to understand for us how we should conduct ourselves. Have a wonderful day.